Hey, 8th graders, so welcome to your first ever kind of Amplify lesson, but this is going to be typically what your guys' assignments look like throughout the year. And obviously, as you are watching, you can see that there will be videos if you are absent, so there's really no reason that you guys can't do this from home, whether you guys are sick or home for another reason. Go through this, and then I'm going to kind of walk you guys through the assignment just like I would in class, and as you guys work, you can pause this video and then work on the section that I assign, and then play the video when you're done with it and kind of work at your own pace there. Okay, so your learning targets for today are I can identify if an object has energy or not, and this again is 1.1 harnessing energy. So for part one of this, you guys should have opened up your OneNote, and because this is our new unit and our very first lesson of the new unit, you guys will need to set up your OneNote. So just as the instructions say, you guys will go into your 8th grade physical science notebook. You guys will see that obviously I have a lot of stuff in my notebook already because I teach this over and over per year. But what you guys will need to do is you will need to add section right here at the bottom. And you guys will add this new unit, which is harnessing energy. You guys can just do energy, that's fine. So again, you guys will see this little spot down here that says add section. So you'll click that. You guys will add the harnessing human energy. And then there's going to be 2 pages that I need you guys to do in that. The first one's going to be vocab, and then you'll need to add a second one and title that key concepts. Okay, with that being said, in your key concepts, you need to add your unit question for the day. And you also need to add the key concept number 1. So here's your unit question. You guys can copy that, Control-C, and paste it into your key concepts page, and same with key concept number 1. Whether something moves or changes, it is because of energy. Okay, so again, you'll add that in right here. Unit question, don't worry about the chapter 1 question, we're not going to do those. And then key concept number 1, you guys can see that right there. Whenever something moves or changes, it is because of energy. And then you need to add system into your vocab. That will be your guys' first vocab word for this unit. All right, moving on. Once you guys have that done, you can take a second and pause this video if you need. We're going to move on to the warm-up. Okay, your warm-up, you guys will need to right-click. Remember, if you're using a Chromebook, you guys right-click by tapping gently with 2 fingers on your keypad, and you'll open this link up. Your guys' sorting tool looks like this. Okay, and then over on the right-hand side, you guys have a bunch of different items. Based on what you guys know about energy for right now, you guys are going to take and sort those into either things that have energy or the things that don't have energy. So go ahead, take a second, pause this video right now and do the sort, and then when you come back, I'll tell you guys what to do with this page. All right, so you guys should have sorted what you think has energy here and what you think doesn't have energy here. And then you guys are going to screenshot that screen into your next slide. So you guys can see here's your directions for screenshotting if you don't already know how to do that. If you're using a Chromebook, you guys will hold down the Control and the Shift, and then this little key, which is found right above the number 6, and then you'll click and drag what you guys want to sort, what you want to screenshot, which you guys can just do this little table right here. And then you guys will copy in that and paste it right here. Okay, one feature I want to point out to you guys is this question mark. Anytime you guys see this question mark, it means there's something that you need to do on this slide. Okay, obviously what you need to do on this slide is paste that picture of your sorting tool. Okay, so go ahead, take a second, pause that if you need help with this. Okay, you guys can send me a message in Teams. If not, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next section. All right, so part 3, you have a little video to watch. You guys will right-click this link right here. You'll open it up. Your video looks like this. I'll play a second of it so you guys can see. It's called Energy for Emergencies. So you guys can kind of get an idea of what the video should be. So take a second, pause this video, and watch that video. All right, moving along. Okay, we're going to kind of talk throughout this unit about how we can supply energy to someone maybe in the situation of a rescue where their batteries run dead, or they don't have energy at all, maybe the power went down, those kinds of things. So how can we help someone like a rescue team be able to supply energy for them in those instances when they're out of energy, for like their flashlights, for instance? Okay, so I'm going to introduce this sim link to you guys. Again, you'll need to right-click this, open up the link, and you guys will come into the sim tool, which looks like this. So I want you guys to go ahead and pause this movie, take about 5 minutes to explore how to use that, and then I'm going to show you guys a little demonstration. So when you guys get done exploring, you guys can come back to the video. All right, so in this, I'm going to show you guys kind of how to build the system if you haven't already figured it out. So first off, you guys need a little energy source here. So for mine that I'm going to show you guys is I'm going to use a little crank. So obviously we'd be harnessing human energy for this crank. And then I'm going to attach that to a flywheel. Notice how this is kind of like a puzzle piece. That crank will only work with something that would fit that puzzle piece. So in the instance of the flywheel, notice it has this little square knob. It fits right next to the crank. Then for my flywheel, I'm going to find the ball launcher. Again, notice how that fits together. I couldn't use like a motor next to that flywheel. They wouldn't be compatible with each other. And then from the ball launcher, I want to do a spring. So I'm going to sift through the bottom here until I find spring. They got that little kind of sunburst look. And then from there, I am going to run this and see how it works. Okay, so I've clicked build. Now I can click run. Okay, obviously this is a hand crank, so you guys would need to click and hold it to crank it. So I'm twisting it up, getting it as high as I can go, which I believe is 100. And then now that I've had this cranked, I'm going to go ahead and watch the energy transfer to my flywheel. So when I crank this, notice that my flywheel spun, and now I'm going to hit transfer and see what happens. So now the flywheel is transferring its energy to the ball launcher. The ball launcher is being pulled back, and then I'm going to transfer my energy and watch what happens there. Notice that as the ball goes back and forth, we have this little yellow sign lighting up at the top going between kinetic and potential energy. Okay, so we'll talk about this kinetic and potential energy as we run through this unit. We don't really know what those are yet, but here in a couple lessons you will learn. All right, and then finally you guys can click Analyze. And at any point in this, I can drag my system back, and you guys can kind of see where the ball is in that, where my energy is in that. This is before my ball launcher got started right here, so you guys can kind of see. And then as we move this, you guys can see how the energy in the system changes. So we've got energy in the system here. It started off with 100 when I cranked it. Now it has about 70 where it's at right now, where it's kind of loading our ball launcher up. And then you guys can see how my energy transfers out of the system in either light, thermal energy, or sound. Okay, so you guys can kind of see how that might change throughout this. Okay, so different graphs that I want you guys to be cued in on when we move forward with these lessons and you guys start using this sim in a couple different ways. Okay, all right, so moving on from that sorting tool and back into our lesson, you guys are going to have a little sim mission to complete. So you're going to return to our simulation. You're going to reset it all. So let me show you guys how to reset here. So if you guys go ahead, you click, go back to build, and then you guys can click rebuild. Okay, and then it'll ask you, are you sure you want to build? Yes. All right, so with that being said, your submission is to build a system that makes a light shine. Okay, so you guys will need an energy source. You guys will need some kind of way to harness that energy source and transfer energy until you guys have a light shining at the end. Okay, notice that you guys have this question mark on this page, so there's obviously something you need to fill out. Based on your ideas of energy, where do you see examples of energy in the system you built? So after you build that little sim system, I want you guys to answer this question here. Notice too that the font is also a different color. That means that there's something in there you guys have to give feedback on. Okay, so I'll let you guys go ahead, pause this video, finish part 4, simulation, and then we'll move on to part 5, reflect. Okay. Which is going to be fairly easy here. I'm going to delete some slides really quick. All right, so part 5, we learn a little bit more. So it says, dear energy scientists, people use the word energy to mean a lot of different things. In an everyday sense, energy can mean excitement or having what it takes to run a marathon. In a scientific sense, though, energy has a specific meaning. Energy is the ability to make things move or change. So again, energy is the ability to make things move or change. Please use this scientific definition of energy to revise your thinking about what has energy. Okay, so earlier in this lesson, we did this little sorting tool. You guys are going to open that up, and now you're going to take a look at the definition, the fact that energy is the ability to make things move or change. Okay, so back to your sorting tool. you guys are gonna resort. Maybe you guys had some things and the things that have energy that shouldn't be in there, or vice versa, something in the things that don't have energy that need to be up here with energy. So go ahead, resort, and then you guys are gonna do the exact same thing. You're gonna screenshot this little box right here, and you're gonna put it in on the next slide. Okay, so right here, we're gonna go ahead and screenshot. Notice the question mark, that means you need something to complete this slide. Okay, go ahead, pause this video, finish up the reflection part of this assignment, and then we're gonna move on to the last part, which is our hands-on experiment. All right, so for this hands-on experiment, we built these items in class and got to see kind of how they work. Obviously, you weren't here to do this, so you guys can right-click and watch this little video down here, which is gonna walk you through each of these little systems that we built. So we have a hand crank generator system that spins a fan, a battery system that spins a fan, and a solar cells system that spins a fan. So you guys will get to see all of those in that video, okay? What you guys are gonna do, and since there's only one of you and you're working on this at home, you don't exactly have the advantage of group work, you're gonna go through and just place a check mark. You can use the draw tool, whatever you choose. Draw tools up here. You guys can choose different colors, whatever. You guys are gonna mark whether you think it has energy or does not have energy for each system, okay, based on what you saw in that video. You guys can also do votes and just click on here and go, all right, 1 vote for this, no votes for this, okay, those are your votes, okay? So go through, mark whether you think those systems have energy or not. Remember, anytime you're using the draw tool, always make sure you click back on the cursor, otherwise you guys are gonna have a hard time selecting links or typing anywhere else in this until you click back on this cursor. All right, once you have your votes cast, you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna choose one of the 3 systems to discuss. So use the draw tool to circle your answer. Okay, if you guys wanna choose one of those 3, you're gonna circle it. And then you're gonna circle, do you think that system has energy or not? Okay, either has energy or does not have energy. So make sure you circle one of those 2. And then you're gonna provide the evidence to support your answer. So if you said it does have energy, maybe you're talking about the hand crank system and you said, yes, it has energy. What evidence did you see in that video that allows you to think it has energy? And then why does that energy matter? Or why does that evidence matter? Why does that evidence tell you that the system has or does not have energy? Okay, so answer those 2 questions. And I have 2 of those. I'm gonna delete that, sorry. And then finally, to finish up this assignment today, you're gonna do a little wrap up, okay? You're gonna use your draw tool. Do you have any questions? Circle either yes or no. And then if you do have questions, go ahead, click back on your cursor and type them right here. And then 4, 3, 2, 1, how do you think you did on this assignment? This isn't the grade I'm going to give you, okay? So if you don't feel good about this, mark it honestly, okay? It's not gonna be the grade I give you. Maybe you guys actually did a lot better than you think. What this is gonna use is this is a tool to show you how confident you are with the material and how maybe you're learning a little bit more about it each lesson. So progressively, maybe you guys start off not feeling too great, but progressively you should start feeling better and start feeling more in the 3 or 4 range. Okay, maybe you're already there. Maybe you already feel really confident about this, okay? So go ahead, earnestly mark 4, 3, 2, 1. How do you think you did on this assignment? And you are done. Go ahead and hand this in, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks. Bye.